Thanks very much. I'm speaking to Greg Nicholls, Fylde's new skipper this season. Greg's had a long career in professional rugby and in semi-pro rugby, but with Premiership experience, Championship experience, and came back to Fylde 3 or 4 seasons ago to pick up his medical career. So you've been appointed skipper this year. What are the kind of factors that you are looking for in doing that, and what kind of responsibilities does it put on you?
Well, I think Fylde's a great club. It's got a lot of history to it. I think when you're asked to skipper a side like that, I think it's is a big honour, and I was really pleased that I did get the chance, and that the coaches and the rest of the staff thought that I'd be the right person for it. I think from a personal point of view, being skipper, there's a lot of responsibility with that. You can't have any backward steps in training. You can't have a little training session off. You've got to be at the top of your game. I think if you're expecting people to perform at the level you want, you've got to be doing that yourself as well. So you've certainly got to be making sure you're all the training sessions, doing all the work that's expected on and off the pitch, and then also putting it in throughout the whole training session as well. And I hope that can replicate down the team, and the guys can see that that's the standard that's expected, and that's what we're going to get as well.
You're a busy doctor as well as being the skipper and rugby player. Does that pose extra problems for you in terms of the kind of commitment that you're required in your professional life?
I think it would have been a few months ago, but I've changed job recently, so it means I've not gotten just a 9-to-5 job now. Still doing being a doctor, but I've got no weekends to cover, no nights, no long shifts, so it's just back to normal office hours. So it actually frees me up a lot more than I was last year. So from that point of view, it's going to be a bit easier.
Right. Well, that's timely, obviously.
Yeah.
It is most likely that Fylde, given the number of experienced players who've left during the close season for a variety of reasons, will be using quite a lot of young players in this coming season. Some of them have come through local ranks, some of them a bit further away. I was just interested in how you see the factors that young players exhibit. What factors make them, you think, be able to step up from junior, even school rugby not so long ago, representative rugby, county, even national level, some of the lads here, but able to make a career in the national leagues and be able to step up to that sort of quality of elite rugby?
Yeah, well, I think it's a natural progression for teams where you do have a turnover of players. We have had a lot of senior or older guys who did leave last year, and they have been replaced with predominantly younger players. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good challenge for the young guys to come up. A lot of them are untested. And we won't know 100% until you see them on the pitch, whether they've fully got it or not. But certainly from the stuff they've exhibited so far, and again on and off the pitch, that's doing the work off, the sort of attitude they've got, getting to training, doing the extras that are put on, has all been promising so far. I think from an individual point of view, with the guys who are young, they've got to have a certain basic skill level that has to be there that you can see. Then there has to be something about them where they've got that potential, and it's difficult to put your finger on exactly what it is. But I think you do see that ability for players to progress and develop. And in pre-season, again, they're doing well, but we still haven't played any matches yet. So that's when it comes down to all the work off the pitch and all the work we're doing, fitness and skills, and getting to the level we think we need to be at. The full test is when you're playing. So when it comes to that game, there's no hiding place in it, and they'll show the mettle in that because you haven't got a choice otherwise.
Your experience would suggest that you've done coaching, I think, at Bristol University?
Yeah, I did a bit of Bristol and a bit of Clifton, yeah. So
you've obviously, and you've had, as you say, a career at the top level. So you recognise the factors that enable players to be able to step up. You talked about the skill levels and so on. But and you've also sort of said about the difficulties necessarily of predicting what that might develop into. It's a bit like an elephant, isn't it? It's difficult to describe it, but you recognise it when you see it.
I think so, and I think ultimately, like I say, the real test is when you get to the matches. It's a bit like revising for your exam. You can do all the work you like for it, you can do all the practice you think. Then actually, the thing that counts is when you get to that exam and you've got to pull your performance out. But certainly from what we've seen so far and the way the guys have reacted to things and got stuck in, we've been quite physical in pre-season as well this year, which is perhaps a bit more so than normal. And they've stood up to it because there are some young guys, there's some guys who haven't played hardly any kind of men's rugby as such, but they're not taking a backward step, and they wanted to get themselves in there and throw themselves about and show some of the guys that if they're going to give it, they're going to take it as well and put it back. So it's like I say, it's been promising, and it's all pointing towards a good start with it, but like I say, the proof's in the pudding with that when we get that first league game.
The first few games for Fylde are going to be particularly important, as always, with the start of the season. There's a lot at stake, quite a lot of new players, clearly, and they're going to actually fit into the team and fit into the heat of competition. But you feel that the talent is there for us to be competitive in this division, I assume? Yeah,
absolutely, and I think we've had a bit more change of focus of trying to make it more of a club atmosphere again as well. I think it's quite easy when you get kind of into the professional and semi-professional leagues and teams that you can go away from that kind of club atmosphere, and I think we've got to remember why we play rugby. And like I say, Fylde is a great club, it's a community club, and I think we've gone back to a little bit more of why we're playing and what this club means to the community and everyone else involved in it. I think actually that puts a bit more pressure on the players when they realise what the club's about, but also I think it brings us a bit tighter as well and a bit closer together. And certainly when you've got a 30-game season, you can be training well, playing well, and you get to those games when it's horrible conditions, you're away somewhere, it's chucking down with rain, you've got a ref who's giving you a couple of decisions you don't think are right, you've a couple of mistakes, and actually there's little bits that aren't necessarily rugby specific, they make a massive difference. So I think again we've looked at it from an all-round point of view rather than just focusing on one bit. And I think those little bits will hopefully start to pay dividends really, particularly in those tight situations.
The final question, I guess that the scrum half position is as good a position as any to skipper a team from. Is it?
Well, not all the players might agree, but no. Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I talk a lot anyway, to be honest, on the pitch. So I'm always in the ref's ear and all of the players' ears as well. So there won't be that much change from me, really. I'll just have a captain or the C before my name. But yeah, from my point of view, I've always been vocal. I've always wanted to lead from the front as well. And I think, like I say, from a scrum half, they often fit that sort of role. So there won't be too much of a change.
Thanks very much indeed, Greg Nicholls.
Cheers.
Thank you.